Heyo everyone, DQWERTYC here. I am here in the latest Minecraft release, 1.21.9, the Copper Age. We have copper gear, we have shelves now, and all sorts of new decorative blocks. And I have 9 custom archery enchantments to show off. So I'm going to go through each one, explain how you can obtain it if you add this data pack to your world, and then show off what the enchantment does. The first enchantment here is the Precision enchantment. This allows you to reduce and eventually remove the randomness from shots fired by a bow. I can swap out my hotbar here, it's convenient. With a regular bow, if I fire the same exact shot 5 times, you can see that it spreads out a fair bit. Got pretty wide clustering on that. Take a closer look with this command block. Yeah, it's not very precise. It's pretty spread out. If I use the Precision bow, and this one is Precision 1, you have to hold a little bit longer and wait for that tone to play to indicate that the Precision is ready. But you can see already a lot more tightly clustered. They're all on the lanterns, even if they're not all, hitting the target block yet. But if I go to Precision 2, you can see much tighter clustering. They're all right there on the target block. And then finally, using Precision 3, you can see they all hit right on the bullseye. And these targets are set up so that if you get a bullseye, all 8 lights turn on. So yeah, with the Precision 3, if you find the perfect angle to fire at, you'll get the same exact shot every time. The next enchantment I have is a Guiding enchantment. This can also be obtained in an enchanting table. It's about as rare as Infinity. And then you can also get it through villager trades, but when it comes through a villager trade, it will cost twice as many emeralds as getting other enchantments through trades, either on books or pre-enchanted gear. And with this enchantment, you can guide arrows after they've been shot. Basically, you turn your head and the arrow will rotate or try to rotate to be moving in the direction you're facing instead of the direction it's going. So it's a bit tricky to get it to work for hitting precise targets, but can give you a little bit of an edge on aiming it towards an enemy, or it does have a naturally slightly increased precision just because it's trying to aim straight where you're looking instead of whatever direction it started veering off in. The next enchantment is a Scrying enchantment. This can be obtained in End City loot chests, and it allows you to spectate an arrow as you fire it along. You can dismount at any time to return to the player, so I can just get off by pressing Shift, and the arrow continues on its course, or about 2 seconds after the arrow lands, you'll be automatically teleported back to where you started. While you're away, a mannequin with your skin is left in your place. It has your skin, your equipment, whatever status effect you might have had. But if it takes any damage while you're away, that damage will be applied to you, and you'll be immediately returned to it if it takes damage. This enchantment also has an extra cost of requiring an Eye of Ender every time it's used. If you don't have an Eye of Ender in your inventory, it just won't let you use the enchantment. It'll just fire an arrow like normal. The next enchantment is the Ricochet enchantment. This enchantment can be found in enchanting tables. Up to the first 3 levels can be obtained in an enchanting table, and then level 4 and 5 can be obtained through combining in an anvil. And this one allows you to bounce your shots. So each level gives the shot 1 extra bounce before coming to a stop. You see with each bounce there's a little slime particle, and you can hear it, kind of a slime sound with the shot. And this allows you to do kind of fun trick shots, or shooting around corners, or if you have enemies coming, you can do more quick shots and the arrow will still have a chance to get to whatever's chasing you without needing to take the time to fully draw back the bow. The next enchantment is the Hydrodynamic enchantment. It can be found in buried treasure chests, and this enchantment makes it so arrows are not affected by water. I can fill this area with water and align my shot, and the arrow moves straight on through all the way to the target, whereas a regular bow, arrow stops 10 blocks away into the water. So this greatly increases how far arrows can be shot in the water. The next enchantment is the Subtle enchantment. This can be found in ancient city loot chests, and it makes it so that your arrow shots are silent and can't be tracked back to you. So for the silent part, if you hit a block with them, they don't have the normal sound when they hit a block. Same thing for most entities, they don't have a normal damage sound when they hit an entity. And skulk sensors and wardens are not alerted by the arrows unless they get very close. There's also the added effect that mobs that are normally aggroed when you attack them will not take any notice. They'll still take damage, they just won't, aggro on you and attack you. Thus you can use it to safely take out polar bears or iron golems or any other mob that would turn on you if they knew you were attacking it. And as a final benefit, or I guess more effect, if you're in multiplayer and you kill another player using this enchantment, the kill in the chat log won't be attributed to you. It will be attributed to an unknown assailant. So just a little extra benefit of, nobody knows that you're attacking them with it. The next enchantment is the Shulking enchantment. This can be found in end city loot chests, and it allows your bows to travel, or your arrows to travel, for a short time without gravity affecting them. So there are 3 levels you can obtain in the chest, just level 1, but you can combine books or arrow or bows to reach up to level 3. And each level provides a second of gravity-free flight. That one travels in straight line for just a second before falling to the ground. Whereas up to this one can get up to 3 seconds. So yeah, this can allow for, again, similar to the Ricochet, you can do more short, quick shots, and they still have some distance on them, even if they don't do a ton of damage. Or you can line up more precise shots and not have to worry about the arrow falling off before it gets to its target. The next enchantment is the Raid Seeker enchantment. This can only be obtained after finishing a raid and getting the Hero of the Village effect, and there's a chance that librarians will drop books that are enchanted with Raid Seeker. This allows arrows to home in on any of the pillagers or evokers or any other enemies that participate in raids. If I press this button, you can see there is a pillager behind this wall here. Fire the arrow. You can see it veers off at the last second to try to get to that pillager behind the wall, and it's pulled into the target. The final enchantment I have to show off is the repeating enchantment. This is sort of a kind of corollary to the multi-shot on crossbows, but for bows. And what happens with this one is when you fire a shot, a brief second later, another shot is fired in the same place. If I go up to repeating 3, there will be 3 shots fired. And you can see that when you fire the bow, the little phantom bow is created in its place to fire those bows after you. This one, can be obtained in an enchanting table. I think all of the ones that can be obtained in an enchanting table also have a chance to show up on monster gear. That means you could have a skeleton firing a repeating bow at you if you happen to have bad luck with what enchantment the skeleton gets. There's also a ton of fun combos that can be done with some of these different enchantments. So to show off a few of them, this one has Shulking and Repeating and Ricochet, and this allows you to kind of be very much a one-man army against a horde of mobs, because you can very quickly fire off a bunch of slow shots, and you just have a wall of arrows traveling down a hallway. Also, the precision can be combined with Shulking and Ricochet for some really fun trick shots. Right here. You get bouncing off multiple walls, hitting the target, and then coming back to almost hit me as the player. And then finally, my favorite combination is guiding and scrying at the same time. I have Shulking just to let me get through this hole in the roof here. And I totally forgot that I needed an Eye of Ender. Woo! That was a last-minute balance addition that I completely forgot about. So yeah, you can combine guiding and scrying to give you this very neatly controlled guided arrow. On a shorter range, you can use it to very neatly travel down a hallway, or it's just fun. It's fun having a homing missile. It reminds me of some of the old James Bond multiplayer games. There were guided rockets that you could send out, and it's just, I don't know. This is probably the favorite thing that I've made in a data pack in quite a while, just because it's so fun to combine this. And if you really wanted to make a monster bow, you could combine this even further. So I could just add, let's add Ricochet to this one. And let's add Hydrodynamic. And I shoot through the roof, and I turn around, and I just bounce around and keep going. So yeah, lots of fun potential for different combos with these enchantments. One final feature is a bit of enchantment tech that I uncovered when I was working on these enchantments, and that is that you can have enchanted arrows that use the same effects as bow enchantments. You can do this in vanilla without any changes if you give yourself an arrow and you set its enchantment to be, let me get this command right. Give yourself an arrow that has the flame enchantment. Let's get a few more. You can just fire these with a regular bow and have flaming arrows. And so I decided with some of my custom enchantments to also allow creating arrows with those enchantments. First up is Ricochet. You take 8 arrows and a slime ball. You get a bouncy arrow. Bouncy arrows have Ricochet I-III on them, so they bounce 3 times on their own, and it can be stacked with a Ricochet enchantment on the bow to have up to 8 bounces from a single arrow. Prismarine arrows can be crafted with a prismarine shard, a stick, and a feather, basically just replacing flint in a regular arrow recipe. Create prismarine arrows that have the Hydrodynamic enchantment. So prismarine arrows can be shot from a regular bow or from a crossbow and will not be slowed down by water. You can create a silent arrow using 8 arrows and an echo shard. Also conveniently giving a use to echo shards for hardcore players. And these have the subtle effect and can be fired from any bow or crossbow. And finally, with a popped chorus fruit and 8 arrows, you can get a floating arrow that has a Shulking I enchantment on it. And like the Ricochet, this stacks with a Shulking bow. You can get up to 4 seconds of gravity-free flight if you fire a floating arrow from a Shulking bow. That is it for this video. The data packs should be available on Planet Minecraft right now and on Modrinth within a few days. And I hope you enjoy this update, and if you want more details on how any of these work, keep an eye out for a more technical breakdown of all these enchantments in the coming weeks. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the future.